same cases in Malaysia can be reported in completely different ways. One version feels very official and controlled, meanwhile another version feels very emotional and also full of public reaction.
Salam sejahtera.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Terima kasih terus setia bersama kami di Buletin TV3.
31 Mac, saya Yasin Mansur. Tajuk utama tengah hari ini.
Objectivity in journalism means reporting fact fairly, accurately, and without bias. But in reality, news is not only about facts. It is also about how those facts are selected and presented.
Before the news reaches us, the journalists already make their decision. What to include, what to leave out, and which angle have to highlight. Even the fact is the same, but the story can be completely different feels.
Ibu kepada kanak-kanak autisme Allahyarham Zain Bayan Abdul Matin dihukum penjara 5 tahun selepas disabit kesalahan pengabaian anak 2 tahun lalu.
One example cases in Malaysia is the disappearance and death investigation of Zain Ryan. This case was widely covered across Malaysian media for weeks with continuous updates from police statements and news report. At the same time, social media platforms were filled with speculation theories and emotional reaction from the public. Some framed the story strictly based on official facts, while others focused on possible interpretation and public concern.
The same event, but different narrative axes at the same time. So, in conclusion, objectivity is still one of the main goals in journalism. But in real practice, complete objectivity is very difficult. You know why? Because it involves selection. That's why, as an audience, we should not rely on only one source. Instead, we should compare different perspectives, maybe 2 or maybe 3, and think critically on how news is being presented. Because sometimes, the story we believe depends on which news we see first.
So what does ideology means in media? It's not about just politics, it refers to hidden belief and ideas behind the story we see. When the media keeps on repeating the same type of representation, we start to see it as normal instead of realizing it's actually a choice. Let's take an example, which is the movie Ghost in the Shell in 2017. Scarlett Johansson was cast as Major Motoko Kusanagi, a character originally from a Japanese manga and anime. The casting received criticism because many people felt that a Japanese character should have been represented by an Asian actress. And the controversy became a discussion about Hollywood's tendency to choose white actor as the safer or more marketable option, even for story connected to other cultures. Well, this shows that media can influence how we see the role. It also affects how different races and cultures are represented, which brings us to our next topics, race and ethnicity in media. Okay, let's talk about diversity in media content. You can refer as whitewashing, and the meaning of it is casting white actors in roles that were written for or based on non-white characters, which can erase the cultural identity the story was originally built around. Let's take an example of Disney live action, The Little Mermaid in 2023. Hailey Bailey, a black actress, was cast as Ariel, a character who was white in the original 1989 film. The casting announcement in 2019 immediately sparked backlash when the first trailer and teaser dropped. The hashtag Not My Ariel became trending, which critics objecting to black actress playing the iconic character. Bailey said that she was expecting the backlash and telling the press that as a black person you just expect it and it's not really a shock anymore. The film director explained that the production audition actor of all background and choose the best fit. The second point is media roles. Media plays an important role in shaping how people understand racial issues. Although media strongly influences how race is viewed, the impact of media representation is still not fully studied or addressed. Let's take one example of like Black Lives Matters movement in 2020. After the death of George Floyd, a video of the accident went viral and created worldwide discussion about racism and discriminations. The topic stayed trending online and was widely covered by international media and created a strong public opinions on social media platforms. And from my perspective, this case showed that media has the power to bring attention to important social issues. Without social media and news coverage, many people may not have been aware of these experiences faced by a certain racial communities. Lastly, we have control media image of race. This refers to how media doesn't really have a strong system to control how race is portrayed in content. Most of the time, issues are only addressed after public backlash, meaning that people react first and only then media companies apologize or remove the content. For example, is the Era FM controversies in March 2025. 3 announcers from 3 Pagi Era posted a video imitating the Hindu Kavadi ritual during Thaipusam while chanting Vel Vel and laughing. Although it was intended as a joke, many people found it racist and disrespectful toward the Indian Hindu community in Malaysia. Well, in my opinions, this case showed that media content has serious responsibility. Even jokes can become harmful when they involve religions and cultures. Media organizations should be more careful because controlling how race is portrayed say, it's not just about reacting after a mistake. It's about preventing disrespect in the first place. Okay, let's talk about gender and media content. Firstly, we have women presence and control in the media. This topic looks at women's roles in media, not only as actresses, but also as director, producer, and journalist. However, being represented in the industry does not always mean women have equal power or control. For example, Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy, an award-winning filmmaker who was announced in 2023 as the director of Star Wars New Jedi Order. She became the first woman of color to direct Star Wars films. However, the announcement received backlash from some fans who criticized an old comment where she said she wanted her work to make men uncomfortable. The comment was originally related to her documentaries about women's issues, but some people use it to question her intentions. And this case showed that even when women gain leadership roles in media, their abilities can still be judged before their actual work is seen. Well, my opinion, gender equality in media is not only about giving women opportunities, but also about trusting their voices and creativity. And lastly, changing media roles for women and men. This topic looks at how media represent women and men differently. For women, media coverage often focuses on appearance or identity instead of their achievement. And this shows how old ideas about gender can influence what media chooses to highlight. Let's take, for example, the controversy involving Malaysian gymnast Farah Ann Abdul Hadi in 2015. After she won 2 gold medals at SEA Games, a photo of her wearing competition leotards was posted online. And instead of focusing on her success, many people criticized her outfit and questioned whether it shows her alright. This issue became a major discussion, and even the Youth and Sport Minister defended her by saying she should be judged based on her achievement. This case shows how women in media are sometimes judged more for their appearance than their skills. In my opinion, this highlights the needs for more balanced media coverage, where women's hard work and achievements are given more attention instead of focusing mainly on their bodies or personal identity. Overall, media does not only entertain us, but also shape our understanding of identity and society.
Hello everyone, welcome to this segment. My name is Siti Falisha, and today we will discuss about new media and the culture of distraction, specifically how social media affect critical thinking, creativity, multitasking, and self-identity.
The first issue is that new media can reduce creativity and efficiency. Today, many people fill every free moment by checking their phones instead of reflecting or thinking deeply. A study among Malaysian university students found that excessive smartphone use negatively affects concentrations and academic performance. Students often interrupt their studies to check social media and message. Many people believe they can multitask. However, research suggests that the brain actually switches rapidly between tasks rather than focusing on several activities at once. A common example is mobile phone use while driving. Drivers may believe they can text, play game, and drive simultaneously, but divided attention increases the risk of accident. The next issue is constant connectivity. Social media allows information to spread rapidly, but people often share content without verifying its accuracy. During the COVID-19 pandemic, misinformation spread widely through WhatsApp and Facebook. Many people shared unverified health information and creating confusion among the public. Finally, social media encourage self-presentation through likes, followers, and online validation. For example, influencer culture on Instagram and TikTok often promotes ideal lifestyles that encourage social comparison among young users.
In conclusion, new media offer many benefits, but it also creates challenges involving distraction, misinformation, multitasking, and social comparison. The key question is whether we control technology or allow technology control our attention. Think wisely. Thank you.
When the Malaysian government updated the official journalist code of ethics, it wasn't just a PR move. It created a 9-point legal and professional benchmark that separates verified news from reckless keyboard commentary. My name is Natasha Azara, and we are analyzing the real-world utility of these codes. We are tracking exactly how they are tested, broken, and litigated in the Malaysian ecosystem by looking at the hard evidence of recent high-profile media disputes. Let's start with the Code 1, Voice of a Plural Society, which mandates balanced representation without inciting division. We saw the structural consequences of breaking this during the high-stakes Kuala Kubu Baharu by-election. Multiple alternative socio-political blogs published highly polarizing, racially charged commentary pieces masquerading as reporting. The MCMC stepped in with the hard evidence of systematic polarization blocking site access under the Communications and Multimedia Act. This highlights the commentary reality. When you weaponize the press card to provoke communal tension instead of fostering dialogue, you lose the legal privilege of press freedom, which leads into Code 2, transparency and integrity. Journalists cannot carry hidden commercial motives. The classic Malaysian precedent here involves financial reporters who buy up cheap penny stocks, write glowing front page analyses to pump up the price and dump their shares for a profit. The evidence of trading logs, visits, publication dates proves that accuracy dies the second a personal stock portfolio enters the newsroom layout. Code 3 and Code 4 are about the manipulation of context. Code 3 demands strict fairness in how information is framed, while Code 4 bars personal political interests from dictating the narrative. The perfect case study occurred when a prominent local portal published a headline aggressively claiming that the Sultan of Pahang had issued a severe targeted warning against the practices of a specific political party. The Pahang Palace immediately issued a blunt public rebuke. The transcript showed the Sultan's actual address at an agricultural academy was a broad, highly objective reminder to keep all political campaigning out of sacred spaces like mosque. By shaving off the nuance to turn a structured royal decree into a partisan clickbait headline, the portal clear-cut violated Code 3. They immediately yanked the article down and printed a formal text-heavy retraction illustrating how personal political alignments actively distort objective truth. Code 5. Validity and accuracy is the ultimate firewall. It dictates that you must verify information before you hit publish. A brutal reminder of this played out in the High Court during a multi-million ringgit defamation suit involving a corporate firm and online portals like Free Malaysia Today. The portals ran highly damaging corruption and bribery allegations, but the evidentiary record revealed something terrifying. The writers had done zero independent document tracing. They relied exclusive on a single anonymous informant. The High Court handed down a massive 2 million defamation penalty, sending a shockwave through local media. The commentary takeaway: in a court of law is not a valid fact check. Yet, this stands in sharp contrast to Code 6, respecting privacy and confidentiality. You have to protect your sources when the public interest demands it. Look at the historical evidence from the multi-billion ringgit 1MDB investigation. Reporters from DH faced intense state of intimidation, threats of jail time, and corporate suspension, yet they absolutely refused to compromise their digital drop boxes or reveal their whistleblowers. Code 6 is the only reason investigative journalism in Malaysia can exist without collapsing under police pressure. Finally, Code 7, legal competence, is a literal matter of survival. Journalists must understand Malaysia's legal landscape. This was put on display during the high-profile legal dispute between global heavyweight Bloomberg and MACC chief Azam Baki over an investigative leak report. The MACC chief responded with a sweeping RM 100 million defamation claim. Whether an investigative piece is morally right or wrong, under Malaysia's Defamation Act 1957, if you print allegations without an ironclad, legally admissible paper trail, you are exposed. So Code 7 means knowing exactly where the edge of the legal cliff is before you jump off it. And you can fight modern misinformation with 1990 skill, which brings us to Code 8, continuous upskilling. This code became critical when highly sophisticated AI deepfake videos of Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim falsely promoting guaranteed return investment schemes began spreading across WhatsApp. News portals couldn't just report on it, they had to deploy forensic video verification tools to debunk the audio-visual manipulation before it caused market panic. Code 8 proves that accuracy isn't just about typing the right words anymore. It's about engineering defenses against digital manipulation. The final chapters deal with ongoing investigations, public reputations, and the ultimate safety valve, Code 9, the absolute duty to correct errors immediately. But here is where the commentary gets cynical. In Malaysia, we have the Defamation Act 1957. Under Section 7 of this law, if a media outlet ruins a reputation with a false story, but immediately publishes an unqualified apology and retraction with equal prominence, they can drastically slash the financial damages they owe. We see this loop constantly. A portal runs a reckless, half-baked story during a raw, developing joint agency investigation, soaks up millions of viral views, and then quietly prints a retraction later when the hype dies down. The code demands equal prominence, but the digital algorithm ensures the apology never goes viral. Code 9 is a professional obligation, but in practice, is often used as a corporate get-out-of-jail-free card. Ultimately, this commentary shouldn't leave you feeling cynical about the media. It should have you leave you analytical. The codes of conduct are the structural pillars holding our information ecosystem together. The next time you consume a piece of news that seems designed to provoke an emotional reaction, look at the receipts, check the context, hold the publishers to the code, because the accuracy is the only currency that actually matters. What's your take on how local portals handle verification? Let's discuss in the comments below. See ya!
I just had to let you know you're